Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you, if you're just tuning in tonight, that this is our third video of us actually doing the show. For years, we did it podcasted or internet radio, and now we're on YouTube with our videos. youtube.com/StephenKnightShow.com. Let everyone know, please subscribe, please comment. We're very appreciative of everyone who is interacting with us, and shout out to all of you. Well, welcome back to the show, Ms. Parker. How was your weekend?
Happy Monday. I had a pretty good weekend. It was a nice weather-wise weekend. So we went to the Beltline on Saturday. Friday was kind of just, winding down the week and not doing much. But Saturday went to Beltline, and then yesterday stopped by a friend's house just to kind of say hi and do some social distance and drinking from a distance.
Yeah.
But it was actually so good to see people.
Right.
And the Beltline was pretty packed too. The Beltline Saturday was pretty packed, but it was really hot out there. So we weren't out there so very long. Then we ordered sushi from a restaurant that was open on the Beltline. And I hadn't had sushi in so long since all this happened. So of course I'm a foodie. I was so excited. But it was a good weekend. Like I said, I'm accepting the new normal. So I just go with the flow, whatever that weekend brings. It's kind of where I am, and I try to just enjoy whatever's going on and not plan too much, or have too much expectation of what the weekend should look like.
Most definitely. Well, I'm glad you had a good one. And Chike, you had a birthday yesterday. How was your weekend? How was the birthday?
So my festivities actually started on Friday. A couple of my friends gave me a surprise little dinner, a little intimate something. And it was really, really nice. Shout out to Lee and Linnea for going above and beyond for me. I love y'all. That was cool. Friday was good. I had a slight hangover, so I stayed in most of the day on Saturday, which was the best weather day, by the way. And Sunday, I actually had to check into a hotel for work. So Sunday was probably the most outside I've been in months, probably since January. And the guys are running errands, because I wanted to get some supplies for the room because I didn't want to come back out. And just running those errands and picking up things and just seeing people out, I was cringing. Seriously, I was just cringing by seeing what was going on. And I had an opportunity to see Mrs. Evans through a window, because I did go to Jersey real quick because I wanted to go to a specific store. So I waved at my mom while I was in Jersey.
Nice.
That was sweet.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Mr. Nair, how was your weekend?
Good. It was good. Good weather, like you said, and lots of Uber Eats and some cycling. That was it.
Yeah.
I tried not to do too much work. I did a little bit, but I tried to just enjoy it and relax, and I was able to do so. I had a good weekend.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. My weekend was cool. We do this happy hour every Friday. We did that. Saturday, I actually got up and I exercised. I went to exercise outside, and I did some weights in the house, and was just in a good place. I actually hung out with my best friend, one of my best friends, Miss Parker, sorry. My best friend Saturday. Actually went back on Sunday, but just hung out. It was a beautiful weekend, beautiful weather. I talked to some friends on the phone, kind of thing. But yeah, it was good.
Don't forget to say virtual happy hour, because people were like,
virtual happy hour, yeah. Don't please, virtual happy hour, Zoom happy hour.
It's from the house.
Yeah, you're right, exactly.
I missed it this Friday, but I'm sure I'll be able to jump on.
Yeah, I know you were.
Well, I wanted to bring up one thing really quickly. So on Friday, I was driving to the east side, and I was on 285, and there was a car in front of me that swerved to miss something. And I was like, what are they doing? Then there was somebody's bumper in the road. So I had to swerve. And then maybe a minute later, my car just started beeping, right?
What?
And my entire car was beeping because it has all these sensors on it.
Right.
And there were people racing.
I saw that
on the
articles.
freeway.
Yeah.
And this is probably around 7. So there were, pretty steady traffic. It wasn't like the freeway was empty or anything. Today I saw they were heading to the area where it was reported on the news that 46 people were arrested. Mm-hmm. And good thing is they printed all of their names. Good. Yeah. Were arrested because there was a video that went viral on yesterday, they blocked the road and won't let people through so they can race.
Wow.
And so I guess heading to that area, they would race each other until they got there and then would block the road. Very dangerous, very reckless of other people's lives.
Most definitely.
Let's try to be mindful. I know that we have limited activities to do these days, and there aren't too much that's going to keep our attention, but let's try to find things that are creative and productive and useful that add a positive energy instead of taking away from people, because that's very dangerous. So I just wanted to say that and kind of bring that up, that's something in Atlanta that we're dealing with. I'm not sure if it's happening anywhere else, but definitely in Atlanta area.
Well, I definitely had a rude awakening yesterday. Yesterday I woke up and I was just like missing the nostalgia stuff, and I posted I miss Sunday brunch. And then I came downstairs, and again, I wasn't like devastated, but just missing old stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Came downstairs, made my morning tea, and I said, I was trying to set up my work day the night before. So I pulled up my laptop, set up everything, and I checked my email, and one of my consultants' daughter had emailed me to let me know her father was in ICU, and she didn't know when he would be back. And that's when I realized, you know what? I have nothing to complain about. Mm-hmm. It was even in jest when I said it, but I had nothing to complain about, mm-hmm. And so that was just a good reminder, and I made sure I posted that, and people, respected that, acknowledged what's important, especially during now where people are mm-hmm. dying and out of work and all that. Well, let's switch gears real quick. So our question of the day is, and definitely praying for Mr. Adams, who's my consultant. Yeah. So, question of the day is, what's something that you were teased about when you were a kid? Ms. Parker.
Probably being dark skinned. But the funny thing is, I've never had an issue with it.
Because your mom, right?
Yeah, my mother looked just like me, and I always thought she was beautiful. She used to always tell me these stories about how I was a princess going to turn into a queen, and the king was going to come get me. Yeah. So, she made me feel like I was the most beautiful little girl. So I never had an issue with my skin tone. What I had an issue with was weight. My dad's side of the family was very weight conscious, and I started off as a skinny kid, and I got chubby. Going through my little chubby stage. My grandmother could not understand it. She hated it. She was calling me fat. We were close, in the most loving way. But as I grew older and I understand the people that was in my life as adults when I was a kid, more so when I became a woman, when I became an adult. As a child, you don't understand why people do certain things, or you don't really get the depth of who they are. Her growing up in the Great Depression, growing up, my grandmother was 92 when she died, and she was born in like 1912 or something. So for her, she had been through so much where food was just really, for her, she always saw food as
survival.
Survival, yeah. Just a nutrition for your body. It's not supposed to be enjoyed. And she would catch herself enjoying a meal, and she'd be like, oh, this is too much, And then before I was born, she was diagnosed with diabetes and lived with diabetes for 60 plus years with no complications. So she was very mindful of what she ate and how she exercised and what she looked like. She walked every day, and then also being in California, that whole lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So I had an issue with some self-image even into adulthood as far as like weight-wise, but never really the skin tone thing. And other people from different backgrounds always tell me, oh, you're so beautiful, or you're beautiful for a dark-skinned, black girl, or whatever it may be. Yeah. But I never took insult to that, I guess. I never took that as an insult because that was never an issue. I think things are an issue when bothers you when you're already insecure about them.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that. I had my other issues, trust me, a lot of them, but that was never one. So that didn't really scar me as it would have if that was already an issue.
Yeah, that makes sense. Chike, what were you teased about as a kid?
My full lips.
Me too. I forgot about that one. Me too.
Me too.
So my dad, actually, I inherited him from my father. And what my father did since I was very young, he, in his own way, taught me how to own it. So he used to joke with me as a kid, and every insult that he could possibly say to me that I would hear in the street about my lips, he would joke with me about it. So I would toughen up to it. And I remember one of the ones that stick out, and he used to say, when you were being made and the Lord was giving out lips, you thought he said ships, and you said, give me a fleet. And so I grew up with stuff like that. But hearing stuff from outside people didn't really affect me because my dad made me tough to it. So, yeah, that was it.
What about you, Nair?
I used to have this tooth. Before I got, I had braces, but before I got braces, I forget what side, but it was a tooth that was like, it never fell down all the way. So it was like right there, man. It was like right there, and it never failed, man, because I smiled all the time. And even teachers used to think I was, joking in class because I would smile, but I wouldn't be, but I used to smile all the time. So you would always see that little tooth, man.
Hanging in the side.
They used to get me about that tooth, man. Yeah. So it drove me insane for a while, but it wasn't so big because I was kind of happy-go-lucky anyway. But I remember when I got braces, and like shortly after I got braces, that tooth just fell down. Like I'm talking like a month, and I'm like, God damn, I went through my life, with this issue, and braces just had to drop. Like, I couldn't believe it. That was pretty much the only thing that really stuck out for me. That was a problem.
Mine were my lips as well. Anyone that wanted to say something about me, with your big old lips. My dad used to take two bananas. Who is this? And so, but I remember my mother told me, she said, one day the women gonna love them lips. and I remember when I went to, it was actually my senior year in high school. I was working at Taco Bell. And this girl, she was older, with your sexy lips. And I was waiting for the laugh, like, because I had been used to it. I was waiting for it. She just kept on doing what she's doing, making them bean burritos, whatever she was doing. And then it took me years, though, when people would compliment my lips to wait for the laugh. Like, I had to realize, okay, I did grow into it.
It's a real compliment, right? It's not like they're trying to make fun of you, right?
Yeah, but it took me forever. I mean, years to get to.
Really?
I was waiting for that laugh. Yeah.
So the three of you all had that same experience.
I had that.
With my lips too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And to be honest, like Steven said, it took someone older to actually appreciation for me to grasp that it was a positive thing, not a negative thing.
Yeah. Well, tweet us at home, Stephen Knight Show SHO, and let us know what is something you were teased for when you were a kid. All right, on the hot topic. So coronavirus update. In terms worldwide, cases were at 4.76 million cases. 1.75 million have recovered, with 316,000 deaths worldwide. In terms of the United States, we have 1.53 million cases, with 287,000 people have recovered, and over 90,000 deaths. So Trump announced tonight that he has been taking
hydrocodone,
hydrochloroquine, which he has been saying this is the cure. Everyone needs to take this, but all the doctors and scientists say it's not true. It does not help. And ironically, so in his recent physical, they show that he has heart disease, but it's common for his age group. It's not like it's extreme. And that can kill him by taking that medication. So CNN reached out to the White House to see if he really was taking it, but they have not heard back yet. So, Trump would just say whatever for his agenda. So we don't know if he's taking this or not. All right, so there's a drug company now who's working on a vaccine that seems very promising. They found several people who have seeming to be immune to coronavirus. So with everything that we know now, I know this is like week 10. Ms. Parker, how are you feeling about coronavirus and states opening up and whatnot?
I'm still as confused as day one. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I think, like I said, I'm taking the same approach as, just taking my own health into my hands and making sure that I do things that I know that's going to keep me healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually. But I just don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what information is correct and what. I think they're trying to figure it out as we move along. But I know one thing is for sure: I'm not taking anybody's vaccination. I'm not doing it.
Even if you have to you try to travel outside the country,
I would probably move. I'm okay with moving.
Where you moving to?
I was thinking about that.
It's a lot of places I can move to. I will move before I take the vaccination because I'm telling you, I'm not going to have them put poison in me. To get a vaccine out, it usually takes between 10 years.
Yeah,
between
at least
2
5
years of
yeah.
2 years of coming up with it, 5 years of trial period, and then whatever. You think they're going to find something in 7 to 10 months that you're going to be okay with ingesting in your body? No, I'm not.
Yeah. Chike, as our resident medical expert, what are your thoughts on everything?
So I don't know how true it is, but I have heard that the president actually has some kind of stock in hydrochloroquine.
He has to.
And I've done my research with some of the physicians at work about that, and that is a harsh drug. What it does, it depletes your system. Like any drug that you take, even if you take ibuprofen or Tylenol, it has to be processed through your kidney and your liver. And the damage that this drug does to your liver and your internal organs to get the job done that it's supposed to do, you're in worse shape physically than you were before you took it, because you have to process the drug. It's almost like chemo. Chemo does cure cancer. It kills the cancer, but it also kills you at the same time.
Exactly.
Why would you want to take some stuff that this man then told people to drink bleach to take? He is no one's medical expert. Don't listen to him.
Well, supposedly,
I don't understand what the problem is. Y'all need to leave Trump. Let him take whatever he's taking.
Well, supposedly,
let the man live. Let him
supposedly he's the one that told his doctors he wants to take it.
Right, let him do it.
But they said in order to take this, you need to be under hospital care.
Steven, what's it to you?
He said, Steven.
Because of the side effect.
What side effect,
what's it to you?
Now, what are your thoughts?
About what he's taking?
About it all. Coronavirus, Trump, all.
If he wants to take it, he take it. But I was thinking about that vaccine thing, and I remember I couldn't get to China without taking a vaccine.
Oh, yeah.
The yellow fever. So that's what I was asking. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm saying,
but that's for malaria, right? You have to take malaria and what else? But those vaccinations are tested.
But what I'm saying is
something
this.
that we've always had to do for ever since I
can remember. With coronavirus now, they might require you to take that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, I have heard that.
But they add it, so then it makes me, I want to go to Africa, So it's like, if they add that onto that, and I don't want to take this vaccine either. But I'm like, man, if they add this part of the cocktail to get to Africa or some other place that I really want to go to, I think Africa is the only one that will cause a problem for me, actually.
Yeah.
Because I want to go there. I don't know. You guys may have been already, but I haven't been.
My brother went. My brother went to Ghana. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had to get vaccinated, right? But
if we aren't responsible with this pandemic right now, it can become endemic. And if it becomes endemic, a vaccine will definitely be the staple of our society. You will probably have to take it to function in society. Like, I cannot be at my job without taking.
You can't do right. Yeah.
Flu. Yeah. So if it becomes endemic, the vaccine will be on the table for everything that we want to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had a lot of consultants years ago that worked at a hospital in Texas, and they all had to take all the get vaccinations. So it just depends on your industry. But
or travel.
Yeah. I know for me, I never had the flu shot before that I remember, but I got it in 2017. My doctor encouraged me to get it. Me and Miss Parker were actually going to New York for the weekend. I got sick as a dog. I said, "Oh no!" I took every medication I could find so I could make sure.
He is the most hard-headed friend I have.
I had to take it. My doctor told me to take it, but I haven't taken it since.
You said your doctor recommended it. Yeah, and then you were just like, okay. But I have been telling you for years, don't take that shot.
Well, I hadn't taken it in years, but I said, listen, okay, she knows some, I don't know. But I was sick as a dog, but I was good by that trip one of his Parker.
Yeah.
All right, so Ahmaud Arbery, a reminder, he was the 24-year-old young man that was murdered in Georgia. He was out for a run. He had walked into the home, a home that was under construction, and they pulled surveillance for the last 4 months, And apparently a lot of people had been through that home. White, black, young, old, just looking around. Apparently the owner, when he would see it on surveillance, he was convinced that he needed to ask the guy who allegedly killed Ahmaud to watch the home. We know how that ended up. Well, now his mother is seeking the death sentence for the father and son who killed her son. Ms. Parker, what are your thoughts? Do you think that she should be seeking the death sentence? And
I think that is a personal decision. I can't speak for somebody who's going through that type of trauma. I think it'll be a disservice to even make that assumption. I'm not a fan of the death penalty. I don't advocate for it. But I think that I can't speak for someone who's been through that and what decision and how they're feeling. So I think that's a personal decision. But I did see the video of other people going in. My good friend Chris Stewart's on the case. So I've been following through his page and other things that he's sending in our group chat. But, we already knew that it wasn't about him looking in the house. There have been people who've been through there, and that to use that as an excuse, I think was a bit irresponsible, I think. I think that not really taking into account, that this man had lost his life. And then I think the media just jumped on, oh, well, he was roaming through the people's home. And I even seen I saw black people that, he had no business being there. And how many times have we gone through jogging or walking and see a home under construction and might take a peek? Didn't deserve to die over it. So I definitely feel like it's his family's decision.
Yeah. Well, like Melanie Davis said last week, Attorney Melanie Davis said last week, that's still not punishable by trespass, not punishable by murder. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Chike, what are your thoughts?
I cannot speak to the mother's wishes or her hopes for.
You went out on this. Chike. There you go. Can
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't speak to it. I can't speak to what her feelings are. I'm sure she's in the middle of her sorrow and her grief right now. And, I just can't.
Yeah. No, I agree. Nair.
Yeah, I can't. That's a big one. I'm also not a fan of the death penalty. I'm not a fan of humans taking other humans' lives, intentionally. I'm not a fan of it, even though I know there are some circumstances where people would find a way to reason, ration, all that, but I'm not a fan of it. So she's got to make that decision. I read that headline too. I haven't heard her say that. Have you actually heard her say that?
Well, she said she wanted them prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
The media kind of plays these tricks, and the fullest extent, I guess, is that. But it's kind of like,
but to say that she wants them to seek that, outright.
And that might not be the case. She just wants justice, I'm sure, at the very least. I think she wants that, and whatever that takes. I'm all for that, because that man was wrongfully murdered. He was targeted and wrongfully murdered, being targeted.
And you think about it, what she was told when he was murdered was that he broke into someone's home
and stole something,
and that the owner of the home
shot him.
That's what the authorities told her.
Right.
And so if this video never came to light,
cover up and lied.
If this story never came to light, she would have went down thinking her son broke in someone's house and was murdered.
Right.
And so what she's saying now is
her son didn't do that, but she would have, that question would have been there.
Right. Well, she didn't think that they would lie to her like that. And so the fact that if it wasn't for this video, she would never have known that. And like she said, we've been very patient. This was in February. Now we're here in May, and we're just getting an arrest. You know what I mean? So I think they have a great team of attorneys that are handling this case. And apparently she met with the new prosecutor who's handling the case. She met with him over the weekend. And so I just hope that justice is served. And I think that it's out of our hands how justice will be served. But I hope that she gets, what she needs from the death of her son. That's what I feel about that.
Absolutely, man.
Well, listen, I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, of course, our official website, Shout out to all of our Instagram followers. We're over 12,000 followers.
Awesome.
And we really appreciate you.
Yes, we appreciate that.
But remind you can check us out on our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. And we'll be right back with a few more hot topics right after this.